Good morning. I'm Dallas Kirk, and I'll be your host and moderator today. I have to believe you are probably the most dedicated members of the press corps I've seen. For those of you who are not in the room this morning, I have to explain the elevator decided it didn't want to work today, and our guest here in Palo Alto had the opportunity to climb 4 flights of stairs to join us. Thank you very much. This is the first major product announcement that Digital Equipment has offered from Palo Alto, California. And we chose to do it for basically 3 reasons. First was that open systems were born here in our Hamilton Avenue building right across the way. And we're probably within a stone's throw of the font of Unix knowledge of Berkeley. But most importantly, the people who developed the products that you're going to see today actually did so in the building that you'll tour this afternoon. And we very much want you to meet those very inventive people. I also want to welcome the folks on the Digital Video Network. We have guests joining us from around the country in Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, Denver, Santa Clara, Stowe, Massachusetts, and in New York City. For those of you in the press and the analyst corps, I truly appreciate the task that you have to endure on the bumpy ride along the Risk-mobile. You have to sort out the meaning of all the claims and counterclaims from the various vendors. Things like, my RISC is faster, my Unix is richer, my workstation will eclipse the sun, or disconnect the power, or dull the precision. It's a difficult task indeed. But today, Digital would like to make it both simple and elegant, I believe, with the DEC system and DECstation 5000 family. Just a bit over a year ago, Digital announced its first RISC ULTRIX system. A lot of you joined us at that event in Littleton, Massachusetts. We called it DECtop University, and you saw the DECstation 3100. A lot has happened in that short time since. We are here today to unveil a veritable avalanche of new, innovative open systems. 7 workstations and 7 servers, all new. You'll see this morning the best and most balanced graphics workstation in the world, the largest family of open systems, the first Unix symmetrical multiprocessing system from a major vendor, the leading and best distributed Unix computing environment anywhere. Altogether, these pace-setting products provide our customers with the latest in workstation innovation, the freedom to choose only what they need today, and yet have the confidence that Digital can enhance their investments in the future and tomorrow. We are very pleased about the very exciting opportunities that these new products offer our customers. Each year, Digital commits hundreds of millions of dollars in the efforts of thousands of people to develop and deliver these new products. To focus these investments, Digital has recently formed a new line of business unit for open systems. Dom LaCava, the Vice President of Low-End Systems, has been named to manage that unit, and I'd like you to hear from him now. Dom?
Thanks, Dallas. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this exciting announcement. Today, we're announcing a wide selection of hardware and software products that will continue our push into open systems computing. We've made major RISC Unix announcements in January 1989 and again in July of last year. So today's activities represent our 3rd wave of RISC Unix announcements. Through the course of the day, you'll see demos and presentations covering all of the details, and we've built in many opportunities for you to get answers to your questions. Now, I'd like to emphasize one major point above all others. Everything we're announcing today is another step towards achieving our goal. We intend to make Digital the #1 vendor of open systems in the 1990s. There are numerous vendors in this market, but our goal is to be number one. And we intend to do this by continuing to implement the theme you see on these signs. Open systems computing for everyone now. That's what we've been offering for well over a year, and today we're strengthening our position. Digital's approach to open systems computing is different from that of most vendors. Digital offers high-performance open workstations and servers, but they are just a part of a larger integrated computing environment. We deliver a multi-vendor environment today. It incorporates open systems as an integral component. We've been doing it for 16 months. It started with our desktop announcement in January of 1989, and today Digital is still the only vendor delivering the true multi-vendor computing environment of the 1990s. We deliver this through the products we've developed under our Network Application Support Guidelines. NAS is a comprehensive set of software that enables applications to integrate across a distributed multi-vendor environment. These guidelines, along with our DEC Windows user interface, mean that any user can share data and applications with any other user. Whether it's Unix, VMS, DOS, OS/2, terminal, PC or a workstation or a Macintosh, we integrate all of these systems into one productive environment. Workstations, servers, and PCs that run Unix are part of this larger environment. These capabilities are built into our RISC-based systems, and they're built into our ULTRIX operating system. It all means that we don't isolate Unix users from the larger computing environment. And at the same time, if people choose other operating systems, we don't isolate them from the benefits of integrating into the Unix environment. Our entire open network application support approach is based on the concept of computing through clients and servers. This means that in a network computing environment, applications, storage, printing, and other services reside on server systems. These server systems are accessible to anyone who needs them and the services that are provided. Client systems are the user's desktop devices. They're usually terminals, PCs, or workstations. We design our software and hardware so any client can interact with any server regardless of the operating system. They interact easily, quickly, and efficiently. The client systems can always show the user the same interface. Now, it's somewhat like a general session at the UN. When you put on the headphones, you hear the language of your choice. Translation process is invisible to you, just as it should be. So, what Digital sees open systems as a computing environment in the context of real users and how they're using their systems. We offer a wide range of RISC-based Unix systems and servers, and they form an incredibly productive Unix environment. But most Unix users work in a world where they need to connect to PCs or Macintosh systems or VAX systems. With Digital, only with Digital, they can accomplish this. During the past 16 months, we've been selling a growing family of RISC workstations and servers. Today, with these exciting announcements, we're doubling the range of that family, and we're announcing new pricing for our current RISC family that enhances our price performance position. We're also announcing a number of important new enhancements to the ULTRIX operating system. This is a very stable, secure, and feature-laden Unix, and today we're making it even stronger. Now, if you're serious about your commitment to open systems computing, you have to offer customers a real choice of applications. I think Digital's best success story during the past year is this. Today, there are more than 700 applications shipping for our RISC Unix platforms, over 700. And developers are adding applications at the rate of about 100 every month. To give you an idea, this is the book, the listing of the applications, which is an international book. Each of you will be able to get a copy of it. It's hard to keep up to date at this rate. And we'll provide you all a copy, as I said. Now, these are key applications from leading vendors. Most importantly, more than 400 of these applications are designed specifically to take advantage of our X-windowing environment. No other vendor offers as many X-windowing applications. And we'll have a breakout session later that focuses on our RISC Unix applications, and I encourage you to attend it and get the details on this great application story. One more thing about these applications. These applications are shipping now. They're shipping to customers every day, and that's a key part of our theme, open systems for everyone now. We have the applications users want, and we have them now, and not every vendor can make that claim. We have so many applications because of our highly successful ISV program. We've made the investment necessary to attract the best developers, and it's really paying off. This was confirmed recently by an Aberdeen Group report on Digital's ISV program. The report is titled, Digital's ISV Program, a Software Developer's Paradise. And here are several statements from that report. Digital's ISV program is far and away the most comprehensive hardware manufactured sponsored technical support program available for ISMs today. Digital's new independent software vendor program refreshingly delivers something for the independent software developer and the user. And just as important a quote, we even tested the system by signing up ourselves under a pseudonym and are pleased to report that the program is everything that Digital says that it is. Digital is completely dedicated to offering the best choice of RISC Unix applications in the industry. We're making it happen through our unique ISV program, which has already resulted in the 700 leading applications I spoke about, and it's only a start. Now, here are the critical elements of productive open systems computing. Today, Digital is the only vendor satisfying so many of these measurements. In the next few hours, you'll see the proof for each point in this matrix. The essential point is this. It's short-sighted to limit the discussion of open systems computing to one-dimensional speed alone. Raw performance leadership in this market changes about every couple of months. I know because during this past year, our RISC desktop systems were the pure speed leaders. And that was nice for a while. But even then we kept saying, one-dimensional speed isn't everything. It's just one component of productive computing. Even more than speed, you must have balanced systems, expandable systems, and scalable systems. And you must be able to integrate all the customer's systems together. That's what Digital offers to open systems users. We offered it then, we offer it now, and today we're making it even more powerful, balanced, and flexible. No other vendor can satisfy so many of these criteria. They're still stuck back in the one-dimensional speed war, offering systems without applications, or systems that you can't upgrade, or systems with severely limited memory, or desktop systems with limited graphics capabilities. And they're still not shipping the products customers need for true multi-vendor computing. Digital does have it now. On each and every one of these points, and through the course of the day, we'll show it to you. Now, I'll be turning over the podium to Bill Strecker and Don Galbatz. They'll fill you in on the details of the products that we're announcing today. And for those of you that are here with us in Palo Alto, you're invited to join us across the street at our Hamilton Avenue offices for an open house, including lunch, and for more detailed technical sessions on what we've introduced today. Many of the RISC products were developed there, and I encourage you to meet with the product developers and see what they've really done. Now I'd like to introduce Bill Strecker, Vice President of the Distributed Software Systems Group, who will give you the exciting details of our software announcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Dom, and good morning. As Dom mentioned, today we are announcing version 4 of ULTRIX. I'd like to take a minute to talk about why Digital is committed to Unix, and then demonstrate ULTRIX version 4's broad array of features, which will help drive Digital to being #1 in open systems in the 90s. First, the market. Most analysts will tell you that the market for Unix systems is exploding, driven by customers seeking application portability and interoperability. This particular chart shows that the percent of the computer market based on Unix will grow from 10% of 1989's $133 billion market to 22% of 1994's $199 billion market, a $40 billion business opportunity. It is this kind of demand from customers that compels Digital to go after Unix aggressively. With this announcement, we add leadership features to our Unix offering and add additional RISC platforms to our already broad RISC hardware family, a family that runs only Unix. The hundreds of millions of dollars invested to date in delivering this array of products should make clear our intent to become the leader in this market. And if you look at application suppliers, they agree. We built our RISC Unix application portfolio from 0 early last year to over 700 as of this date. Third-party vendors are showing their confidence in Digital with their dollars and resources by porting to ULTRIX. The Unix market is large. We plan to be #1 in that market. So what is our strategy to address this market? Well, first and foremost, we plan to deliver the standards compliance our customers demand. But in order to differentiate ourselves from the competition, we will add features and functions within the confines of standards that allow our customers to use Unix more productively. And through networking and network application support, or NAS, we plan to ensure interoperability with the heterogeneous systems customers have installed over the years. Certainly other Unix systems, but also DOS, OS/2, Macintosh, IBM, and VMS systems. Perhaps more importantly, though, we want to offer the broadest-based applications portfolio in the industry. And here our track record speaks for itself. We currently offer more X-Windows-based Unix applications than anyone else in the industry, and are daily expanding that lead over Hewlett-Packard, Sun, and newcomer IBM. The features and functions of version 4 strongly support this strategy. By way of background, we delivered ULTRIX version 1 in 1984, and since then have come out with 2 additional major releases, adding the standards compliance and features needed to make ULTRIX a complete Unix environment. Today, we are announcing the 4th major release. ULTRIX version 4 offers solid standards compliance, significant added value features such as symmetric multiprocessing, expanded NAS services such as ULTRIX SQL, leadership interoperability through distributed services and networking, and excellent security. Let me go into it in a bit more detail. First and foremost, ULTRIX version 4 allows our customers to achieve the application's portability and interoperability they seek because of its wide-ranging standards compliance. ULTRIX is POSIX conformant and will be validated shortly against the POSIX conformance test suite. We will be submitting ULTRIX for Xopen XPG3 branding as soon as the final details of that program are completed. And we support all the other standards listed on this slide. The bottom line, we have the standards compliance customers are asking for. ULTRIX is standards compliance. But as I mentioned before, our strategy is to go beyond standards to provide unique capabilities for our customers. To that end, with version 4, we are providing a system with a broad array of capacity expansion options. By supplying the broadest range of hardware platforms in the industry with our RISC and VAX ULTRIX families, we can supply complete desktop to data center solutions. And through symmetric multiprocessing, a technology not available from Sun, HP, or IBM, we can easily expand computing throughput merely by adding CPU cards. Adding SMP is a significant enhancement for ULTRIX, providing solid benefit for our customers. Its availability in version 4 positions digital well ahead of our major competitors. SMP will be available on both RISC and VAX lines, providing support for as many CPUs as our current and future hardware provides. We also provide simple storage expansion. With version 4, we will support up to 512 megabytes of physical memory and up to 115 gigabytes of disk. So as a customer's system needs grow, they can easily grow their memory and disk capacity. There is yet another aspect to this system capability, however, that of shear capacity. With memory and disk capacities in these ranges, large CAD or simulation packages can be run more efficiently. Large databases can be supported for technical or commercial customers. And to help those customers with database needs, with version 4, we are including a relational database engine with the operating system at no additional charge. ULTRIX SQL is a full-function SQL-based relational database management system. It is easily accessible from both TCP/IP and DECnet. It is easy to use with an interactive SQL terminal monitor and database administration and optimization tools provided. And we are actively working with third-party database vendors to put their tools and applications on top of ULTRIX SQL, with both Ingress and information builders announcing that commitment today. We are also announcing our intent to deliver layered products that will extend ULTRIX SQL's capabilities, making it easier to take advantage of its power. We will be providing embedded language preprocessors, source translators for use between ULTRIX and VMS, and a layered product that will allow transparent remote access to RDB VMS. Providing SQL functionality with the operating system is unique in the industry. Its inclusion in the operating system will save users thousands of dollars. By comparison, an IBM AIX system, including an SQL database for 65 users, would cost an additional $68,000 above the base system cost, while a 32-user HP UX system would cost an additional $20,000. For Sun, a single-user license would cost an additional $2,500 per workstation. ULTRIX SQL positions digital well ahead of the competition. With version 4, we are also delivering the security our customers are demanding. Version 4 will be submitted to the National Computer Security Center for C2 certification. C2 is standard with version 4, but is fully customizable, allowing system managers the flexibility to invoke only the security features appropriate for their environments. With version 4, we are also announcing a suite of services that will allow our customers to easily implement distributed computing. Both Kerberos and Hesiod are distributed services for MIT's Project Athena. As many of you recall, the successful X window system was the first deliverable from Athena, and these services are expected to follow a similar success path. Kerberos provides network authentication services, allowing a user to authenticate communications between two TCP/IP systems on a network, ensuring network security. Hesiod is a network name service. It allows centralized administration of the password, host, and other system management databases, simplifying TCP/IP network system administration. NTP, a de facto internet standard, is a service that distributes the time of day throughout the network, synchronizing the clocks of all systems in an IP network. ULTRIX version 4 also contains enhancements that provide the networking solutions needed for the multi-vendor environment of our customer base. New in version 4 is support for Hewlett-Packard's network computing system, which allows applications to be distributed across the network. Support of the NCS remote procedure call is the first step in our joint development efforts with HP on a wide area RPC. Version 4 supports the simple network management protocol for TCP/IP networks, providing customers with a method to simplify their systems and network management. Version 4 incorporates the X-Open transport interface, which will help ease the transition from TCP/IP networks to OSI networks. Finally, we have added NFS and Yellow Pages enhancements to bring them to current Sun revision levels, and have enhanced our diskless management and remote installation services by allowing either a VAX or a RISC machine to serve as a boot node for network clients. Perhaps more importantly, we are also shipping with version 4 the boot parameters that will allow us to configure ULTRIX systems as boot nodes for Sun workstations, allowing us to capture the server business in the Sun installed base. The bottom line is that with ULTRIX, we are providing the network and distributed computing services customers demand. ULTRIX is distributed computing. ULTRIX also provides a solid windowing environment. Today we are announcing that Motif will be available and shipping in May. We plan to make Motif digital strategic windowing interface, expecting it to replace the DEC Windows look and feel. The ULTRIX windowing environment also offers the highest performing implementation of the X window system, display PostScript layered on X, and of course graphics standards such as FIGS and GKS, so important to the workstations Don Galbatz will be announcing. We are also announcing expanded language and office automation support. Pascal for our RISC platform, compatible with the ANSI IEEE standard. Version 2 of Fortran for RISC, a full language Fortran 77 implementation that includes several new features as well as maintenance enhancements. And sales and distribution agreements for Micro Focus COBOL and Vertex Ada on our RISC platforms. We are also announcing sales and distribution agreements for Office packages from Uniplex and Applix. Uniplex is the #1 package in the Unix market for general Office solutions, while Alice from Applix is the #1 solution for professionals demanding workstation-based solutions. Both are in strong demand from our customer base and should allow us to satisfy the Office market with our ULTRIX systems. Both are being demonstrated next door. We are announcing enhancements to several layered products. The ULTRIX mail connection is now on RISC platforms, allowing mail exchanges between Internet systems and VMS and IBM systems using Digital's X400-based mail bus. Support for DECnet SNA ULTRIX 3270 emulation is now available on RISC, allowing ULTRIX systems to access IBM systems through our SNA gateway product. The VMS ULTRIX connection, a layered product on VMS that supplies TCP/IP functions for VMS, has been enhanced to support Hewlett-Packard's network computing system. We are also program announcing our intent to deliver PC integration on ULTRIX, allowing DOS, OS/2, and Macintosh PCs to be served by an ULTRIX system. It will provide PC users with file, print, disk and remote booting services, as well as mail services. With respect to availability and pricing, we will be shipping version 4 in 60 days. Pricing for the operating system is included in the hardware system price at the 2-user level for workstations and at the 4-user level for servers. We are also announcing today a significant repositioning of our multi-user upgrade pricing as part of the overall repositioning of our entire RISC Unix line. By way of an example, a DEC System 5400 64-user license, previously costing $25,000, will now be priced at just over $10,000. So to quickly summarize our version 4 announcement, ULTRIX offers solid standards compliance, adhering to the POSIX, X-Open, and many other standards. ULTRIX offers significant value-added features such as symmetric multiprocessing, a technology unmatched by our major competitors. ULTRIX provides leadership distributed computing with Athena services and other components such as the network computing system. With these features and the platforms we are also announcing today, Digital and ULTRIX are positioned to be #1 in the open systems market, both in our traditional technical markets and in commercial markets as well. So where are we going in the near future with ULTRIX? As some of you may know, Digital has 2 Unix offerings. I've already spoken at length about ULTRIX. In response to demand from our customers, we also have an offering called VAX System 5, a port of AT&T's Unix System 5 to VAX, targeted at the telecommunications industry. Both are offered as Digital's corporate products. As we look out over the next 12 to 24 months, it is our intention to take the best features of ULTRIX and VAX System 5, as well as other sources such as Mach, OSF, and our own research and development, and unify these offerings under a single umbrella. The net of this strategy is that in response to customer demand, we plan to add SVID compliance as a product feature for our future Unix offerings. In the process, we expect to enhance the ULTRIX internals with new technologies that will further reinforce Digital as the #1 supplier of open systems in the 90s. So what does this mean to our customers? They certainly demand Unix solutions, but they also demand that their applications run across the heterogeneous systems already installed. Our strategy to address this need is NAS, or Network Application Support. With NAS, we provide a set of standards-based software which enables developers to build applications that are well integrated and more easily portable. To date, we have offered a rich set of NAS services in the ULTRIX environment. Today, we are significantly broadening NAS support through SQL services, the ULTRIX mail connection, 3270 terminal emulation, Motif, and in the near future, PC integration services. Taken together, these NAS services provide application developers the tools they need to build applications which work across a distributed multi-vendor environment. No other vendor offers this extensive set of integration services. So Digital is delivering a computing environment based on NAS that ties applications together across ULTRIX and VMS environments and the desktop environments based on DOS, OS/2, Mac, and other Unix workstations. ULTRIX is a solid Unix environment and a major server and client for NAS, as are the RISC Unix platforms we are announcing today. To tell you the exciting platform news, I'd like to introduce Don Galbatz, Group Manager of Workstations.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning and good afternoon to everyone watching in the various cities. That is our software story, and it's a story of which we are very proud. Now for the hardware, and the story is just as good. We have offered RISC-based systems for 16 months now. Briefly, here are the open systems we've been selling during that time. First, we announced the DECstation 3100. This was the fastest desktop RISC workstation in the world for fully 13 months. We followed that with the DECstation 2100. This system was our price performance leader for most of last year, and it is still the lowest priced RISC workstation. And for some time now, we've offered a family of RISC general purpose and server systems from small to large. They are the DEC System 3100, the 5400, the 5810, and the 5820. Today, we're announcing many new open systems products that offer our customers unprecedented features and price performance. Here are the new products we're announcing today. The DECstation 5000 Model 200, the world's most powerful, best balanced, and flexible desktop RISC workstation. This system redefines workstation performance and standards for the 1990s. We are announcing 3 new RISC-based server systems, the DEC System 5000 Model 200, the DECstation 5830, and the DECstation 5840. This brings our RISC server family to 7 members. Digital offers the widest range of price and performance for RISC servers in the industry, period. And we're announcing 3 new storage devices to support these systems. Users' needs are becoming much more complex. During the 80s, users required a so-called 3M machine, a system with 1 million pixels, 1 MIP of power, and 1 million bytes of memory. We are all well past that by now. In the 80s, CPU speed became a buzzword. Everyone was quoting MIPS at each other as if they were checking out hot rods at the local drag strip. But in the 90s, workstation users are demanding much more for a productive computing environment. More than anything else, a vendor must offer a well-balanced system. Systems that offer performance for integer as well as floating point performance. Systems that provide good performance for 2D vectors, 3D polygons. Systems that offer uninhibited memory expansion and support nothing other than vast amounts of storage. We have to redefine the desktop power paradigm so it's meaningful for users in the decade of the 1990s. Real power is a well-balanced combination of all the things you need from a RISC system. A system that excels only in floating point performance but is deficient in the other areas is simply unbalanced. It's like those hot rods. They do go fast, but only in a straight line. That's okay if that's all you need to do. IBM has announced RISC systems that are like this. They do one thing fast, but they don't give users everything that's needed throughout the 1990s. Now I'd like to show you Digital's kind of open system for the 1990s. This is the DECstation 5000 Model 200. At 24 MIPS, 24 integer MIPS, it's one of the fastest desktop systems in the world. We can play the speed game too, but speed is less useful if the system isn't balanced. We've designed the DECstation 5000 to be balanced, flexible, and extremely expandable. We offer it in 4 versions, from a basic low-cost 2D system up to an impressive graphics machine that provides the best desktop 3D performance in the industry. The supporting performance numbers are all in your press kits. Here are just a few of them. In the first chart, the DECstation 5000 is normalized to represent 1 unit of performance. The IBM and Sun systems are plotted against that. The DECstation 5000 provides 10 times more 3D polygon performance than IBM's comparable system. It offers 4 times more 3D vector performance than IBM's comparable machine, and 20% better integer performance, and 4 times greater memory. The comparison is even more pronounced if you compare our DECstation 5000 to the Sun SPARCstation 1 or the SPARC 330. The DECstation 5000 is simply faster in every area. In this graph, we're showing a simple ratio between the systems. Hewlett-Packard is sometimes perceived as a leader in workstation graphics, but measured against Hewlett-Packard's comparable system, the DECstation 5000 is anywhere from 2 to 8 times faster in a variety of graphics tests. The CPU is twice as fast as HP's fastest workstation at a lower price. These numbers are from real-world systems running a real application through the X Windows interface, and that's the only accurate and fair way to measure performance. Quoting raw numbers right out of the hardware ignores the fact that workstation applications in the client-server model use an X-based windowing interface. All our performance measurements for the DECstation 5000 reflect how it will perform for real work, for real users doing real work. The DECstation 5000 is more expandable than any offering from any of our competitors. This system offers up to 120 megabytes of main memory using 1 megabit chips. We're proud that the DECstation 5000 is the industry leader in desktop memory expansion. Incidentally, to get 120 megabytes of memory on an IBM RISC system, you'd have to buy the big desk side 520 model, which starts at twice the price of the DECstation 5000 Model 200. No Sun or HP system can compare. Now I get to give you a little tour through the box. I told you it was well balanced. Here is the R3000 CPU, the R3000 floating point unit, write back buffer, which we designed across the street, 64 kilobytes of instruction and data cache, 8 megabytes of ECC memory. There are 15, count them, 15 places to put 8 megabytes, getting you to 120 megabytes. Here are the 3 turbo channel slots. The slots are configured so that the card can be 1, 2, or 3 slots in width. The card sitting in here right now is the color frame buffer. You can add in options for communications. You can add in options for storage I/O. You can add in any one of 4 graphics modules, and you will soon be able to attach to the VME bus. It's a little heavier than it looks, so let me put it back down. As I said, there's 4 versions of the workstation. They're called the CX, the PX, the PXG, and the PXG Turbo. Over here to my far right, we have the Model 200 PX. This features the new 2D accelerator card, which, by the way, is the same small size as a single card color frame buffer. It only takes up 1 slot. If the applications demand it, you can turn the PX into the PXG Turbo. That's this one right here. This has color 3D solids and incredible graphics performance. I don't have to buy another system. I don't have to make the box bigger. All I do is install this board. This one board, which you'll hear a lot about in the breakout session, essentially represents the state-of-the-art in graphics integration today. It packs more power onto less real estate than any other board in the industry. It's completely dedicated to providing graphics through industry standards, X windows, NFIGs, and PECs to a single user. This board was designed across the street by some of the people which are sitting in this room now and other rooms back there. Please go and let them help you reverse engineer the product. IBM's new systems require at least 2 boards to upgrade the graphics, and of course, you could never get a Power Station 320 to match the graphics power of the DECstation 5000 series. And Sun Sun's state-of-the-art requires these 2 boards to add in to a Spark 330, and it gets less power than this, our mid-range card right here. You can go get some more details about that. And as far as SGI, they would require 6 boards, fully 6 boards this size. 6 boards this size. You can see we're well beyond desktop graphics here. 6 boards this size, and you wouldn't get to what this board does. You need to hear the full story. We've built the DECstation 5000 Model 200 to be the system of choice. This means that the user can choose how much graphics power he or she needs, how much memory storage, and they can increase it when they have to. This system can evolve and grow. Our competitors have only a growth through trade-in policy. We feel that's costly and inefficient. We support the industry standard VME bus with this system. 12 vendors have already indicated that they're going to offer VME peripherals for the DECstation 5000. We're also introducing today the Turbo Channel. This is a scalable, very fast bus that we've opened to the industry at absolutely no charge. Turbo Channel is one of the keys to the balanced power of the DECstation 5000. It is a fast bus that's been made to handle the extremely high data rates in this RISC system. In the breakout session, they'll tell you exactly what we've measured in the systems that are on these desks right now. The DECstation 5000 also uses SCSI peripherals. Further, we've announced support for Future Bus Plus by 1992. So this system has 4 open buses. Again, that's because we have open systems for everyone right now. With the DECstation 5000, Digital becomes the first vendor to offer a compact 1 gigabyte SCSI disk drive. The new RZ57 offers 50% greater capacity than our previous workstation disks. We're also announcing the RZ24, a 209 megabyte, 3.5-inch SCSI. This device brings high capacity internal storage to the DECstation 2100 and the DECstation 3100. Here's another storage advantage. Today, we are announcing the TLZ04. This is a 1.2 gigabyte RDAT, or digital audio tape, that provides unattended backup for the DECstation 5000. Prices for these new storage and backup devices are again in your press kits, and all three of these products will begin shipping in May. So, the DECstation 5000 offers superior performance, graphics, expandability, flexibility, storage, and open buses. But most important, this is a system that's built to well understood standards. We support all the hardware and software standards shown here. Digital has been driving standards and supporting open systems since the first version of UNIX was created on a PDP-7 nearly 24 years ago. The DECstation 5000 Model 200 incorporates more hardware and software standards than any other workstation. If you take all of that, wrap it up in one desktop box, add Digital's worldwide support, you have a winning package. We think the DECstation 5000 is the most productive, balanced workstation in the world, and when you see it in the demo area, we are convinced you will agree. Prices. Prices for the DECstation 5000 Model 200 systems start at under $15,000. The slide says we'll be shipping in a month. We're actually going to be shipping this Friday. That's the workstation story. Now we're on to servers. Today, we're also announcing the DECsystem 5000 Model 200, the server version of the DECstation I just described. This is the ideal system to use with our new VT1000X Windows terminal. At $23,400 for a fully configured system, the DECsystem 5000 server is a tremendous value. It also starts shipping on Friday. Today, we're further announcing 2 new mid-range RISC servers that expand our DECsystem family up to 62 MIPS of performance. We are increasing the expansion capabilities of the 5800 series by adding a 3rd and a 4th processor. The DECsystem 5830 is a 3-processor server that offers 48 integer MIPS of performance. The DECsystem 5840 is a 4-processor server with 62 integer MIPS of performance. These systems offer up to 256 megabytes of memory, and they support up to 115 gigabytes of storage. That's more expansion than any of our competitors offer, more than Sun, HP, or IBM. Compared to the Sun SPARC Server 490, that's twice the performance, twice the memory, and fully 4 times the disk capacity. Each member of the DECsystem 5800 family is expandable. You can upgrade any system to the top system, and they all fit in the same footprint. So a customer who starts with a 5810 can expand it right up through the family to a 5840 system that offers more than 3 times the performance, all in the same cabinet. The upgrade path for the server systems is similar to that of the DECstation 5000 workstation. Simply add power on an incremental basis. This is important because users' needs evolve, they grow, that's inevitable, so we've designed the family of RISC servers that acknowledge this reality. It's easy and it's economical for customers to move up through the RISC server family. This combination of features is the reason customers choose the DECsystem 5800 servers. They use them as high-end file and compute servers in academic, administrative, and commercial settings. The complete configuration of the DECsystem 5830 is priced starting at $140,000, and the complete DECsystem 5840 is priced starting at $160,000. Expansion module prices are in your press kits. These two new server systems will ship in June. We have another complete breakout session devoted to servers, and there's a lot more detail available for you there. With these announcements, Digital's risk-based server family looks like this. We offer 7 servers, which range in price from less than $12,000 to $160,000, and cover the performance range from 14 MIPS all the way up to 62 MIPS. All of these systems are based upon open chips from MIPS Computer Systems Incorporated. They are all binary compatible, and they will all run any of the 700 plus applications now shipping for our systems. One thing more while we're talking about RISC servers. This summer we will add 2 more systems to this family. One will be a desktop server, complete in one package, that will offer nearly 20 MIPS performance. The system, complete with disk and tape, will be priced well under $15,000. A desk side system for work groups and departments will offer twice the performance of the DECstation 5400 and will be priced at around $50,000. Often, when we announce a new generation of systems, we reposition the current generation to enhance their price performance. Today, we're doing just that. We're repositioning the entire range of RISC systems we've been selling during the past year. The entry price of the DECstation 2100 is now $5,950. You simply can't limit open systems computing only to those who are able to pay higher prices. So we offer open computing for everyone, including those who want a very low-cost system. This is a powerful RISC workstation for under $6,000. By contrast, IBM's lowest price RISC system costs nearly $13,000, while Hewlett-Packard has no RISC workstation priced below $19,000. And we're taking the worry out of buying systems in this fast-changing RISC world by offering a simple, safe upgrade program. I mentioned that in a few months we'll be offering a RISC server that's twice as fast as the DECstation 5400. Our customers can buy a DECstation 5400 today, and next summer we will offer them a board that doubles the performance of that system. The board will be priced at the difference in price between the DECstation 5400 and the follow-on system. It's safe and it's simple. Today, we are also announcing attractive new prices for the DECstation 5810 and 5820 RISC servers. Again, the prices and the details are in your press kits. So we're offering new prices on our entire current RISC family. Digital is going to be the price performance leader in the RISC market, and we're putting our prices right behind that commitment. That's the new hardware we're announcing today. We're expanding our open systems offering from the low end right through to the high end. And we're offering systems that feature graphics, expansion, and upgrade capabilities that no one else can match. But there's more to becoming number one in open systems than hardware and software. We have simplified our policies to make it more attractive for resellers to offer our products. We've improved our discounts, and we're offering finder's fees to third-party salespeople. Details of this program will be available in the next couple of weeks. All of this reinforces our primary message. We intend to be number one in the open systems market, and we are doing what it takes to achieve that goal. Dom showed you 2 charts earlier, and now I'd like you to look them over again. The title is significant: Open Systems for Everyone Now. Many vendors offer open systems these days, but only one is offering them for every user across the board. Low-price systems, 3D graphics, highly expandable systems, systems with more memory and storage than anyone else. SMP servers, right down the list. Digital has it all now. We know we're in a serious battle in the Unix marketplace. The technological leapfrogging that's been going on in the RISC computing business is totally unprecedented in the 40-year history of computing. Every few weeks, someone manages to up the ante. But the graphics performance and expansion capabilities we've announced today won't be matched by anyone for a long time. It takes more than just MIPS. It takes balance, a wide range of products, leading applications, and a strategy to connect them all into a productive whole. That's where digital is investing. That's where our long-term approach to computing is. And what we've announced today is our most significant step yet. Thank you, and back to Dallas.
We'd like to open the floor up for questions at this point. Could I have the speakers please join us up front? We will be taking some questions from the audience in New York from time to time, and I'll intersperse them with questions from the floor here in Palo Alto. So that everyone on the network can hear your question, in addition to the answer, I'd like you to please to, if you have a question, stand, introduce yourself and the publication that you represent, and state your question clearly and succinctly, please. I'll take the first question from Palo Alto here. Yes, far back.
Len Grzanka, Digital News. If you're going to be supporting a new version of ULTRIX, which combines System 5 and the current version of ULTRIX, what is going to happen to your support for the OSF operating system?
Bill, do you want to tackle that one?
In my concluding remarks, I was trying to give you a preview of where we're going with ULTRIX, and what I said we are trying to do is to bring together a variety of technologies from our current ULTRIX product, from our VAC System 5 product, from Mach, from OSF, and other internal research efforts that we have to bring a single product to our customers that combines all of the good features that we can get from these multiple technologies. So this says nothing whatsoever about our support for OSF, which is every bit as strong as it has been in the past.
Thank you, Bill. Yes.
Josh Greenbaum with Computer Systems News. To follow that up, will there be a separate product called OSF from Digital, or a single Unix operating system?
The question was, Bill, will there be a separate OSF product?
Well, in the past, we have never said something about our specifically bringing out a product called OSF. What we have always said is we are going to be first compliant with the AES provided by OSF, and we feel that we can take advantage of the technology that OSF has developed to bring out a Unix product. But the specific thing that you call OSF has never been a specific commitment on our part, and we're still looking at exactly how we're going to carry out what I described to you a few moments ago, which is to bring all these technologies together into a single product.
I'd like to take the next call from New York, please.
Yes. It's Michael Guerin. My question is this. Since you've indicated that this business is moving very rapidly, why do you think your advantages announced today will persist for longer than, say, 6 months? And what's the basis of your optimism?
Don, do you want to address the cause for our optimism in having a lead in the competition?
I can do that. What you see here is essentially, let me repeat myself, a redefinition of what the basic desktop computing platform is. It is the most efficient implementation of a 25 megahertz R3000 that anyone has ever seen. It has the most extensible memory. It has the highest speed bus and the most extensible, and the bus which is most approachable by the industry. Furthermore, we have exploited all those features in the development of the new digital design, digital innovative graphics system, which now has more desktop performance in 2D, 3D vectors, and 3D polygons than any other vendor will have on the desktop for some time. Now, the other detail here is that we have approached this position in the market from a higher threshold. We now have the hardware architectures, the software architectures, which we will continually refine to stay ahead of all the rest of the curves.
Can I take a question in Palo Alto? Yes, again in the back, please.
Bud Smith with Personal Workstation. Would you describe your performance and price performance as roughly comparable to the Silicon Graphics line?
Don, could you compare us to the Silicon Graphics line?
What I'm going to do is give a real live commercial for one of our breakout sessions by introducing Tom Furlong, who's responsible for the RISC workstation platforms.
Tom?
The desktop line of computers absolutely will dominate the industry in terms of bringing solids modeling performance to the desktop. Don showed you very vividly an example of the types of technologies that are being brought to bear in 3D graphics and showed you how our level of integration it will basically outperform anything that is available on the desktop, and we're even approaching with those same technologies anything that's available in the industry.
The question was, in 2D graphics, are they roughly the same?
2D graphics, the machine that we have is very efficient at drawing polygons, very efficient at drawing 2D vectors, roughly the same in terms of desktop machines from the competitors in vector performance, as that's easy to get now. But when we look at polygon performance, we're looking at factors of 5 and factors of 10 over the competition.
Thanks, Tom. I'd like to take the next question from New York again, please.
This is Don Brown with B.H. Brown Associates. I wonder if I might ask about the impact of a superscalar type of architecture. Despite the accomplishments that are quite noteworthy on your graphics and overall performance, you've had since November to consider the superscalar implications. When do you think you'll see a move on the 3000 series out of MIPS, and what do you think we'll see in terms of compatibility implications?
Superscalar situation, Don?
The issue is, what do we have to say about superscalar since it showed up in the marketplace fairly recently? Superscalar architectures are absolutely compatible with what we see in the MIPS processor line. The MIPS plans for the MIPS processors will continue out, and they will all be compatible. And we made a big decision to go with MIPS in the past, and everything we know about what we're doing on the inside and what MIPS plans are convinces us that that was the right decision to make. We're going to be leadership. Right now, there's a little bit of an issue about floating point. The next generation will resolve that one.
Another question from Palo Alto, please. Yes, here in the middle.
Mark Marshall with InfoWorld. You mentioned that $59.50 was the price for the entry-level DECstation 2100. Can you tell us what goes with that box? What's included in that price?
Don, can you quickly describe the...
It's the standard 8 megabyte diskless machine that previously was priced higher, and it has the same attributes as the product that was priced previously at about $89.95, I think, or somewhere just under $9,000. A monitor included.
Another question here from Palo Alto, please. Louise?
Louise Kehoe, Financial Times. Can you comment on sales to date of DECstation versus VACstation, and what's the future for VACstation?
Don?
Yeah, I'll comment on that. The future for VAC stations is still very strong, with something on the order of 300 to 400,000 VAXs installed and approximately 6 million users of VAX systems. We have a tremendous install base, and VAX workstations with their improved performance, along with their improved graphics performance. We announced graphics capabilities in January that improved the graphics performance 10 times over what we had previously. VAX workstation customers are extremely happy with the products, and we still see a really good market there for us. At the same time, we see incremental opportunities with VAX workstations with VMS. We announced a trading workstation back in January, working with a large bank, that really brings a new form of trader's workstation to the marketplace. And we expect to see that replicated many times. So there's new opportunities for VAX workstations too. We expect that over time that the ratio of RISC workstations to VAX workstations shall level out. I expect that over this next year we should see something approaching 50-50 on our breakthrough. The RISC line is starting to take off dramatically. One of the points I do want to make about the RISC line is the fact that we have seen the order rate double to triple in weekly orders over this last 3 or 4 months. And we're really excited about that, and we believe that's directly linked to the number of available applications along with the price performance of the platforms.
Thanks, Dom. I'd like to take the next question from New York again, please.
Yeah, this is Fred Cohen with LeVay Simpson. I'd like to get back to graphics. Could you update us on your relationships with your historical partners? Historically, you've had a relationship with Evans & Sutherland and also Tektronix, and recently there have been some reports that you may be licensing the graphics library from Stardent. Could you update us on these and whether you're working with any of them for the future?
Dom, do you want to talk about our relationship with Tektronix and Evans and Sutherland?
Well, basically, I think the emphasis on today's announcement is that what you're seeing is a lot of innovation that comes directly from digital. The products here have nothing from the earlier relationship with Evans and Sutherland. This is innovation which has occurred right across the street.
Thank you. Here, yes.
Steve Kosky with Digital Review. I was curious when the gentleman on the East Coast asked about superscalar technology, why you didn't mention that the graphics subsystem uses a superscalar chip from Intel.
Oh, we use the Intel i860 to do the floating point transforms in the geometry pipeline. So as far as superscalar, it does have a presence in the system right now, I guess you could say.
Another question here from Palo Alto, please. Yes.
Yeah, in your, Owen Linderholm from Byte Magazine, in your performance analyses for these new systems, you compared yourselves a lot with the IBM PowerStation 320. Could you give us some idea how these systems perform compared with the new IBM RISC systems, the RS6000 series?
Don, do you want to?
I don't think I heard completely.
The question
PowerStation is our IBM comparisons are against their desktop model, the IBM PowerStation Model 320.
The 320 is the RS6000 model.
Another question here from Palo Alto? Yes, in the middle, please.
John Jones from Montgomery Securities. I wondered if you'd comment on the impact that the 4-processor DEC system would have on the 6000 product line. I note that a 4-processor 6000 running at about 25 MIPS, which is less than half of a 4-processor DEC system, costs about $627,000 versus $160,000. It seems that the DEC system should be having some pretty significant impact from a revenue standpoint on the 6000 product line at some points in the near offing. Would you comment on that?
We see that the 5800 series represents for us significant incremental opportunity. The 6000 VAX VMS line is a very robust line. VMS is a very robust product with over 7,000 applications. And the 6000 still remains a mainstream for us. And we see the 5800 series as getting us incremental business by booting Sun workstations as servers. The capabilities we have now in ULTRIX version 4, we expect to be able to expand into incremental new opportunities. So we see them as complementary.
Yes, here in the middle, please.
Barry Willman, Sanford Bernstein. Could you make some comment about the R6000 chip? I still haven't seen any announcements on that. Would you have some announcements coming shortly concerning that?
Don, the MIPS R6000.
On the R6000? Oh, we're talking about the R6000. I'm sorry.
Whether or not we're going to implement it or not.
I don't have any discussion about the future products right at the moment. We are, in fact, looking at all of MIPS technology. We're not going to comment on future products at this time.
Yes, again here.
Steve Kosky, you said that there would be a VME channel available in the workstation, but it is not yet. When will that be available, and why is it not yet?
It's essentially a DEC side option that plugs into one single turbo channel slot, and it's going to be available in the summer, as a lot of other options are going to be available from digital and other vendors. It'll be available in the summer, and what we see is that its throughput as a VME option will probably be faster than the throughput of systems which have only the VME bus as their system bus. That's why we got so early in the game, 12 VME partners already to establish a commitment to the product.
Yes, here in front.
Phil Necker, Professional Press. Can you talk a little bit more about your turbo channel? There's been some rumor that it's really a FutureBus Plus implementation, but I see today that you have a FutureBus Plus option or developer's kit available for some kind of interface board. Can you tell me about
What
that?
we have available today is a turbo channel interface kit available. If you want more information, You have to run away, you can dial 1-800-678-OPEN and get a lot of information and more things to read about it. The Future Bus Plus option will be just like the one I previously referred to as a desk side or maybe a rack mount option that will go from the DECstation 5000 platform out to the Future Bus. The turbo channel, you have to understand what turbo channel is. It's asymptotically 100 megabytes per second. It's a 32-bit multiplex data address bus. It uses only 44 wires. The reason why we're so excited about this is that for the first time, a major mainline system manufacturer has a bus that goes through a connector and can and will go right into a special purpose ASIC chip. It's counterintuitive to say that the bus is faster, better, and cheaper, but it really is. The boards that we have here have been implemented. We have about 6 boards that are already done. They have no ASICs of any kind to support that function. The next thing you'll see from other semiconductor vendors is turbo channel support right inside the chip. This is a first.
Marketing that ASIC, or is somebody else?
It'll be available from at least one other vendor, and the program is very aggressive from our side between you and me. The people that we've approached are very excited to see digital approaching them as a hardware added vendor as opposed to them trying to figure out who to talk to in digital. This is open computing.
There was a question in the back.
Len Grzanka, Digital News. Do you see sales of your RISC systems cannibalizing sales of the VAX VMS systems in commercial markets due to the price performance?
Dom, the question was whether or not we see cannibalization of our own VAXs by the RISC systems.
I think that I've been to talk to over 50 customers myself just in this past 9 to 10 months on their needs. There are customers whose needs, VAX VMS solves the needs that they have, and across the network it's going to continue to solve their needs for a long time. Those that have decided that they want to go with Unix can now stay with digital with price performance leadership platforms and will buy our RISC Unix workstations. If there is some small overlap there, they have a choice with us. And we believe both markets are very important to us and will continue to aggressively invest in both.
Any other questions, please? Yes.
Yeah, Walt Price from RCM Capital. A year ago, you said you were about 18 months behind the market leader before you'd be where you wanted to be. Could you give us an update in terms of time, where you think you are relative to where you want to be in terms of being competitive?
Dom?
I think I'm going to make one reference to a new IDC report that had just been published in March that you should probably take a look at. We are, in fact, with the workstation and server market at approximately 28% of market share, second to only Sun, and only behind by a couple of percentage points. I expect that we're going to work extremely hard to change that. And I think the combination of our workstations and servers as we head into this marketplace as aggressively as we've shown you today is going to get us into that #1 position.
Yes, again here in the middle.
Martin Marshall of InfoWorld again. I've heard varying numbers on the number of DECstations that have been shipped to date. Can you give us any insight on that? I've heard numbers anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 to 10,000. Which of these guys are right?
We don't usually quote the numbers right now, give the actual numbers, except the one thing that I wanted to tell you is that in coming up the ramp, I think the most important thing that we have and the thing that we're most excited about is our weekly order rate, which has doubled to tripled in the last 3 to 4 months. And we're extremely excited about that. And we're going to do a very large number of RISC workstations this coming year.
Yes.
Sun, your biggest competitor in workstations, has made it a policy to try to encourage clones of its technology. I'm wondering if you expect such clones to happen of your technology and whether you'd encourage or discourage that.
The question was whether or not we would encourage clones of our graphics technology, basically, I think. And the workstations in total. Don?
Well, I think there's several things to look at. One, we're completely open relative to the CPU. We're using open chips from MIPS, and there are many, many partners there. We've licensed out the turbo channel and made it completely open without any charge. I think there are some fundamental designs here that are very important to us as we enhance them into the future, and we'll make decisions based on what's important relative for open systems that we should open to the industry. But certain of the graphics, things that we're working on right now that we expect to enhance greatly over this next 6 to 9 months, we still have not decided to license them out.
Let me expand on one facet of the openness of the new platforms. We took a very well-studied and correct decision to open turbo channel up to and including being able to source the turbo channel interconnect. So if you wanted to make a system that didn't have anything to do with the DECstation or DEC server, you could source the turbo channel too. This means that not only people who make option cards for the DEC systems and the DEC stations can participate in the turbo channel business.
Any other questions? Yes, in the back, please.
Bill Easterbrook, question for Dom. He had said that within about a year, perhaps 50%, I think you were talking about units, would be VAC stations and 50% would be DEC stations. Could you tell us or give us some guidance on what the profitability of these two sectors of your business might be? Specifically, and by how much might profitability be improved as you head more and more into the DEC station risk area?
Don, you don't want to answer margin questions, I can tell. We'd rather not probably divulge all the profitability data, and I suspect that with these new products, it's only a forecast anyhow at this point until we really start the shipment volume. I think we'd rather dodge that one. Any other questions?
Right here.
Under the light.
Oh, sorry. Walter Zintz, Digital Desktop. You've spoken about SCSI in connection with disk drives. Do you or anyone else intend to support toasters on SCSI?
Sorry, support what?
Toasters, non-data storage peripherals. Printers, scanners.
SCSI is completely capable of supporting a lot of things in addition to just disks and backup devices. The protocol is well understood. It's actually being involved. We've got a very fast implementation of it. On this thing, it runs at 5 megabytes per second. And you can add drivers. There's no issue.
Does anyone intend to provide those drivers? Does DEC or anyone else intend to provide?
That's what the Triad program does. The Triad program, which you'll hear about in Tom's breakout session, involves getting people to invest in the turbo channel as well as the other open interconnects which are on the platforms.
I think one point to make is, and it's probably Triad, Tom's probably going to go into more later. You hear the term ISV program. We use that all the time, and many of the competitors use it all the time. We have an IHV program, an independent hardware vendor program, which is codenamed the Triad at the moment. And Tom will talk more about that after, where we're aggressively looking for people that will work with us relative to plugging some of the other peripherals.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Bill. I want to thank all of you for coming to Palo Alto today, and I especially want to thank all of you for joining us on the Digital Video Network. For those of you here in Palo Alto, I'd please like to remind you that lunch and demonstrations of all the equipment that we've announced today will be on display over in the Hamilton Avenue building where you first checked in. Our speakers will go immediately over there and will be able to address one-on-one questions with you around the display area. Thank you very much for coming.